I want to talk about the many faces of us. You know, as we walk through life, we encounter many people. I often refer to the yellow brick road way of looking at things. Another good friend of mine talks about the life tree and how relationships are like branches and how far they go and how thick they become. And you know, we as people, we act in different ways depending on situation, which is quite normal. We would probably not open up to just about anyone about anything, unless you had a YouTube channel and a series about it. But we put on different kinds of personas depending on which situation we are, and it doesn't mean that we're fake or that we're doing something that isn't true to our character. It's just true to the situation you're in. You have a certain way of talking and a certain relationship to your parents, to your siblings, to your co-workers, to your friends, your very good friends, and it all depends on the situation and where you are in that relationship. I often look to myself because one of my, goals in life is to eventually be able to see myself the way others see me. Because we obviously have our own image of the world, and that can be very different from what other people see, because they don't see our thoughts and our feelings most of the time. And I've talked about this many times before. It's not something new at all. But I often find myself in situations where when people feel bad or they're not in a good state, they come to me. And I know for a fact, and I'm being humble as I say this, I know for a fact I'm very good in those situations. I'm a very good listener. I'm a very good responder to what people are saying. And to quote a friend of mine I met quite recently, I have kind eyes. But it also feels like within the span of everything that you can be to another person, it often, or in many cases, it gets stuck there. That becomes my role, my purpose in some people's life, to pick them up when they are sad. And I don't mind doing that for most of the time. I absolutely do not mind, because I feel that I can contribute to something and make another person happy, which is, one of my KPIs, to use a work way of looking at it. But it's when you're tossed aside, when you're forgotten, when they are in a good state, when your only purpose in the relationship is to be there for them, but it doesn't really work back and forth in the same way. That's when I can get annoyed, I can get sad. And since I never want to push on negative feelings onto another person, which can be a good thing and also a bad thing, I often find ways to not tell people about that, which, for obvious reasons, the question rises, well, if you don't do that, how are they supposed to know? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Some people, I've been honest about it, and I told a friend quite recently that, because we've had one of those talks where we open up to each other, but I told her, let's not make this relationship only about that. And that wasn't to criticize that person at all. It was just like, it was sort of like, pick each other up. Let's have fun in this life. We will be there for each other, but let's have fun in this life. And not just be mellow about it. What are you thinking? What's going through your head as I'm saying these words? What kind of person are you to some people in your life? Do you often find that you assert to a certain characteristics that people want from you? Or are you very open with people of how you want them to treat you, to get this balance in the relationship, in the friendship or whatever? Because I think that this really, really, really depends on who you are and what you contribute to the world through your way of being. I would really love to hear more and just see more diverse ways of being, simply put. Or maybe we're all introverts on this channel. Maybe all the introverts are drawn here and we're all the same. And I find a comfort in that too. I find a comfort in knowing that many of you who watch this series in particular are quite similar to me. So let's share and let's be good to people. Let's be good to each other and be good to yourself because you deserve it. Good talk.